Hi, I'm Andrea from Fensall. This video is going to explain to customers two things. First, what they need to do to prepare for us before we arrive to install the fence. And secondly, what they should expect the morning of the first day that the fence installation begins. So let's start with the first category, what the customer needs to do to prepare for us before we arrive to install the fence. So there's not that many things, but I'm going to walk you through each one. First thing, remove anything on your existing fence in the backyard. So let's just say you have right now an old wood fence in your backyard that you've hired Fensall to come and take down and install a brand new fence in your backyard. If right now you have anything on your existing fence, please remove it. So if you have like a bird feeder hanging off of your fence or a garden trellis type of thing or any kind of electrical panel attached to it, please take it down so the existing fence in the backyard is just the fence. There's nothing attached to it. That way when we come in to take it down, we don't damage any of your property. Second thing is to remove brush on either side of the existing fence in the backyard. So please, if you have trees up against the fence or a hedge or bushes, please trim them back. We need about 2 feet on either side of the fence clear so that we can come in, take down your existing fence and install the new one, and we have clear visibility of where it's going. Third thing is to have a plan for your pets. So most fence installations are not done in one day, meaning that the backyard will be open overnight and the backyard, it'll be open overnight. So if you have a dog that you're used to just opening your back door and letting it out to go to the bathroom at night, this won't be an option for a couple of days. So have a plan for what you're going to do, not just when we're there installing the fence, but overnight when the backyard's open and the fence installation isn't complete, and that could take a couple of days. So have a plan for what you're going to do so it's not just a huge surprise that you hadn't considered. The fourth thing is to make sure we have access to the backyard, meaning parking. Ideally, we would like to park on the driveway. If you're not comfortable with that, at least have the front of the house clear so we have a space to pull up. With the guys have trucks, trailers, sometimes an auger. We need somewhere to park so we have good access to carry all the materials from the front of the house to the backyard, and we don't have to park down the street and then lug everything down the road. It's just going to add way too much time to the installation. So have a place for us to park. Like I said, ideally the driveway, but we understand if you're not comfortable with that, but at least have the street clear, somewhere we can park. Last thing to do is to make sure you know private utilities and have those marked out ahead of time. So private is the utilities like your irrigation system or your pool heater or any kind of service that we haven't had marked out ahead of time. I'm not talking about the hydro or the city street lights. I'm talking about private locates. We need that information from the customers, so make sure you're able to mark it out or at the very least know where all those services are so that when we arrive to install the fence, you can tell us. So that's what you need to do to prepare the backyard. What you should expect for us on the day of the installation. First thing is the installers are going to ask you, and it sounds basic, but where are we putting the fence? So please have it marked out ahead of time where the fence is going to be installed. We're not surveyors. We don't read surveys. You need to know where your property lines are, for example, or just in general, you need to know where you want the fence installed. In a lot of cases, we're coming in and installing a new fence exactly where the old fence is. And in that case, there's nothing to mark out. You'll just be able to tell the installers, I want the new fence exactly where the old one is. That's easy. But if we're installing something new and there's nothing there right now, we need to know where we're going to be installing. So paint, flags, pieces of a stick, we don't really care. It doesn't have to be fancy, but have it marked out where the fence is going to be installed. And so it's not just a huge surprise in the morning that you're expecting us to read a survey or for us to mark it out. That's on the customers. We need to know where the fence is going to be installed. Second thing is the installers are going to ask you where they can get access to water. So because we're going to be installing posts, we need to mix cement. We need water for that. So most of the time, just a backyard garden hose does the trick. Just be able to like have a garden hose and be able to show us where it is, and that takes care of that. Third thing is, like I had said before, make sure that the fence line itself is clear. So any brush, any trees near the fence line, make sure everything's cut back so we have a clear visibility of where the fence is going. Other thing to consider is, it sounds weird, but maybe mow your lawn. We need to see the elevation of the backyard so that the fence can be installed as tightly to the ground as possible. So we need visibility. Cutting the grass is a great idea. If you could do that, please. We've gone to backyards before where the grass is up to like our knees, and it's really hard to see like how to contour the fence when you can't actually see the ground. So any kind of backyard cleanup would be really appreciated. Which brings me to my last point, the most awkward point. But if you have a dog or an animal, and the backyard is where they relieve themselves, if you could please pick up any kind of feces, or there's no non-awkward way to say this, so that the guys aren't working and stepping in that, that would be great. That would be super appreciated. So any kind of like backyard cleanup would be just awesome. I don't know how to, I'm so like blushing right now. It's such an awkward thing to ask, but please have the backyard clean for that. That'd be great. Those are the main things that we need from customers to make sure that the fence installation goes really smoothly. We don't arrive in the morning and waste a ton of time cutting the grass, trying to read a survey, trying to figure out a plan for the dogs. If you have all those things taken care of ahead of time, it'll make the fence installation go faster and smoother, and I think you'd be a lot happier in the end with the whole experience.